Hey, it's good to have you back here with me again. I was looking forward to seeing you again this week. Well, I hope things are going well. I know things can be a little rough sometimes, but I want to invite you to sit back, relax, maybe grab yourself a glass of iced tea, or maybe just close your eyes, whatever you want to do. What I got here today is a vertical canvas that, well, of course, I painted on this canvas before, but I've painted over it with a very thin layer of titanium white that I thinned down with some linseed oil. And then I covered the whole canvas like that, and that layer is very thin. It's very important that you keep it very thin. We use this to paint daylight scenes. Oh dear, looks like my alizarin crimson is getting a little drippy. Oh boy, you know how it is with me and my paints. They like to drip on me while I talk to you. Every time you come and see me, my paints drip, but they never do that to me when I'm by myself. Are they trying to tell me something? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're letting me know that you're trouble. Hey kid, you're always welcome here. I'm glad to have you here with me. And I'm glad to be here to do this. Well, God, look at that. It's already dripping again. We can make a whole video of just getting that dripping paint. Okay, well, that's probably good enough for right now. Okay, as I was saying, I've got that canvas very thinly painted with a layer of titanium white. And that way, it's very important that we do that because it makes it a lot easier to paint the layers that come after that. But also, this is what we do for daylight scenes. We paint it with a very thin layer of white. And that way, all the color shows during the day. Now, if you want to paint a night scene, maybe you want to paint it with a very dark layer. Or maybe if you want to paint sort of a midday scene, you'd start with a dark layer. Color tends to show a lot heavier or a lot more intensely on a dark layer. Boy, these paints are not going to relent at all. Well, we best just get painting because that's usually the best way to make these paints start behaving. So, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out my 2-inch brush. Actually, let me introduce my colors first. I'm getting ahead of myself here. We've got all my favorite colors today. We've got chrome yellow, vermilion, titanium white, ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, and phthalo green. And with just those colors, those 5 colors plus white, we're going to paint the most amazing things today, as we always do. I like to use just a few colors like this because it's a lot easier to paint when you don't have quite so many choices. I know it seems counterintuitive. You think to yourself, ooh, I want to have a lot of colors on here because that way I'm going to paint better. But not necessarily. When you reduce the choices, it makes decisions a lot easier to make. And, oh dear, now vermilion's getting in on the action. Oh, all these colors are revolting against me. It's mutiny on the palette. Oh no. Oh no. Well, I'm the captain of this ship, and I'm taking back control whether you like it or not. That's what you think. These colors got other ideas. Alright, I got my 2-inch flat brush here today. And this is just a common everyday house painting brush. It's nothing special, but it's made with natural hairs. It's very important to use natural hairs because they don't streak as much as a brush that's made with synthetic hairs. I've done good work with synthetic hairs and stuff, and that's all you got, then feel free to use it. But I like to use a 2-inch natural hair brush like this, just a flat house painting brush. And we're just going to go right into the ultramarine today. I'm going to pull out that ultramarine. I'm going to pull it out because I want lots of paint on those bristles. Anytime you want lots of paint, you want to pull it out, just wipe it down. That. That's all there is to it. All there is to it. No big deal. Okay, I mean, look how much paint is on those bristles. They bend. That's how much paint is on them. You want a lot of paint on those bristles, and you always want to start at the top. Now, I'm going to have a little bit of a cloud over here, I think, so let's go over, and we're going to do X strokes, okay? Ooh, that's a real intense sky. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I like that. Okay. And we're just going to go all the way down the canvas with this. It's going to be quite a painting, I think. I'm particularly excited about this one today. We're going to go all the way down to about here today because the subject that we're painting today is one that we're looking up at. And after you see what we're painting, you're going to get a pretty good idea why. And I'm going to go down here and, going to get, yeah, that's the way. We're going to get some blue in there, maybe some heavier blue in there. Yeah, that's the way. And maybe I'll get some blue in here. And pretty soon we've got, all kinds of colors up and down the canvas like this. And whew, that was a pretty easy way to create a sky, wasn't it? Yeah. Probably looking at this thinking to yourself, oof, boy, we're already most of the way there, aren't we? Yeah, we sure are. Okay, we can go ahead and stop with that right now. We'll just set that brush aside for right now, and then we'll go ahead and just try to control the little drips we got going on here. Oof. These paints are the worst today. So oily. Why are you guys so surly today? Oh, a little bit of an attitude adjustment is what you guys need. Okay, let's go ahead with our 1-inch brush. I got a similar brush. This is Natural Hairs. It's a 1-inch brush. What we're going to do is we're going to just take, we're going to take some white like this, pull that out, because we don't want to get all this white all dirty. We want to pull a little bit of that out. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to take, I'm going to call it just the lightest touch. The lightest touch. That was too much. We'll just throw some more of that back over there, and we'll get some of that alizarin crimson in there. We don't want too much. And then we'll get a little bit of chrome yellow in there. A little bit of chrome yellow. Well, I got more chrome yellow than I really needed on that, but we'll go ahead with it. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty nice color for our clouds. Pull more white in there just to lighten it up. Yeah. Maybe we'll get some more yellow in there. What the heck? Get more yellow in there. Yeah. This color is going to get lighter as we paint it anyway. And this is good enough to go into the sky now. Now let's just go ahead and, what do we want to do here? What do you think we want to do? Well, I'll tell you what I want to do. I just want to go in here and swirl this around. Ooh. Yeah, that's one way to do it, all right. Swirl it around like that. Listen, if you want to create more intense layers of paint, you can go in and then just swirl it around some more. You go down here and, yeah, swirl it around like that. And over here, we'll go over and just swirl it some more. Over here, create those thick layers, and there's a little bit of that sunlight kind of shining down, because this is kind of a sunny day type painting, We got some nice things going on here. Ooh, maybe we got one kind of floating over there, and we got another one kind of just floating over there. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Okay. Over here we maybe got, that was maybe a little darker than I intended, but it's all good. And we got, see the way I just kind of let it be kind of random and everything? That's really what we want to do. You want to occasionally get some more paint because, maybe you got some little things over there, and maybe you got one more big one. Let's get some more paint on that. Oop. I'm kind of pushing paint right off the edge there, aren't I? Okay, let's go ahead and just get this last one right down here. Right down in there. Yeah. Don't be afraid of it. Get all the way down to the bottom here, actually. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be... Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now we're making things happen. That's about the extent of all of our clouds for today. So let's go ahead and... let's go ahead and get our other 2-inch brush, the one that we haven't contaminated yet. It's all clean. It's all clean. Ooh, we might want to wipe off a little bit of that vermilion. Oh, vermilion, you devil. It is the devil's red. And, oh no, I got some yellow on my fingers. Well, it just isn't an episode of this painting show unless I get a little bit of paint on my fingers, No, it just isn't a show unless I get a little bit of paint on me. You know what I like to say about oil painting, Oil paint has a funny way of getting places you least expect. Anyway, take the very tip of your brush, just like this. At the bottom, we're going to swirl it out. Kind of like misting it. Like that. And if you gotta make a fun sound like that, go ahead. These clouds, if you don't you don't assert yourself, they're gonna cop an attitude. They're like children. They're gonna get a mind of their own, and you gotta let them know who's the boss of this house. And this canvas is your house, so you better let them know. If you don't, you're gonna be in trouble. So let's go over here now, and a little bit of the glare is getting my vision. You have to apologize if I have to lean over here a little bit to see outside of the spotlight. But sometimes when I look at the canvas and I have the spotlight shining on, it's a little hard to see. Okay. Yeah, we just swirl it out like this, and whew. There's a lot of white down here, but we'll still swirl it out just so you guys can see. So you can see. Okay. Now comes the fun part. We're going to go, and we're kind of just going to floof it. Imagine where the sun is coming. The sun's coming from about this way. Imagine where your light source is. Imagine where the sun is shining. The sun is going to be shining down about this way. So you want to floof it in that direction. Make it look like the rays are kind of just blasting through those clouds. You don't have to, measure everything perfectly with a vanishing point and all that business, but you want to get it in the general direction. Get it in the general direction, and you'll be pretty golden, I think. Yeah. Ooh. And use a very light touch here. Very light touch. You don't want to overdo it. Don't overdo it. Don't like smear the canvas with your brush. No. Don't do that. Oh goodness, don't do that. Oh, please don't do that. Okay. Now once you got that all done, let's go ahead and graze the canvas. Graze it while wiping side to side to blend it all out and give it that final misty touch. Listen to how light that is. That's how light it should be. Okay? And that's really all there is to making a sky like that. Let's go ahead and clean off these brushes now, because they're very dirty and we need to clean them or else we're not going to be able to paint. What I have down here is odorless turpentine in a 5-gallon bucket. Now, I don't use pure gum turpentine for this sort of thing because it's a little too hazardous to breathe in the vapors, and also it has a much lower flash point, which means it'll set on fire a lot easier. It has a flash point of about 95 degrees, so if it's a hot day, it might give you problems. Maybe. Point is, it's a lot safer just to use the odorless turpentine. I keep it in the 5-gallon bucket because it can handle a harsh solvent like that. If you don't use a 5-gallon bucket and you use just any old plastic bucket, the plastic might melt. Just FYI. So what I do is I wash it at the bottom on a grating. I prefer metal. And then tap it like that. And wipe it on the side to get a lot of that excess off. And that'll go back into the bucket. And then I beat my brush on the side of the easel. Okay? And finally, we wipe the brush with some paper towels to get that brush perfectly clean, just like that. And then it's ready to paint again. So there's 5 steps there. Dip it and wipe it on the grating. That grating helps you get all that paint off because there's a lot of paint. If you just dip it in the odorless turpentine, it's not all going to come off. I don't know if you knew that, but if you didn't, now you do. Okay. Tapping it gets all that extra, or a lot of the extra off. And wiping it just gives it a little bit more encouragement. And then beat it off. And finally, wipe it. And now it's ready to paint. And let's finally do that action with this last brush, our 2-inch flat brush. We got a lot of blue on this one. A lot of blue. I really do love ultramarine blue. I think it's one of the more beautiful blues in all of art. I mean, if you look at the Renaissance, pretty much all those artists back then thought so too, but I think it might have just been because it was expensive. But it was legitimately a beautiful blue. Had to pay quite a pretty penny to get it back in the day. Okay. I remember reading that kings would specify what parts of the painting that the ultramarine blue would be used in because, well, they were footing the bill. So they had the last say about where that blue was going to be used. And I suppose rightfully so, since they are footing the bill. Okay. Now that we got all of our brushes cleaned, we can cover this up, and we're ready to paint once more. Now, let's take the small palette knife, and I'm going to set down my palette for this because we're going to have to go in here and take some pretty drastic action. We're going to start with what I think is going to, well, what I'm very sure is going to be the focal point of this painting. We're going to go in right here, right about here. Yeah. And we're kind of just going to, we're going to make some marks here to let us know where our guidelines for this piece is going to be. Alright, so we're going to size it up at right about maybe a little over halfway down. Halfway down here. That's where our figure is going to be. Okay? Yeah. That probably isn't perfect, but I think we're in a pretty good place. Alright, so let's go ahead. And with our palette knife, let's go ahead and just wipe that, a little bit of that extra paint that we scraped off. And let's take, what do I think I want to use? I want to use a good amount of green here, that phthalo green. And we'll take some of that blue that I was using, the ultramarine blue. Well, it's the only blue on here, right? And we'll take a little bit of alizarin crimson. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good way to do things, I think. And you want a lot more green and blue to the crimson, but I think today we're going to lean a little bit more green. Well, actually, in the middle, or maybe more blue, wherever you want to go with it. You really can't go wrong with this one, okay? Alright, so that's probably about enough paint right there. You cut across, get a little bead of paint on your palette knife, just like that. Just like that. Okay? Oops. Accidentally knocked my brush down. There. That's better. Okay. Now right about here, we're gonna lay down the base for a figure. This figure is gonna be pretty famous, so I hope I don't blow this one. Oh, it would be a shame to screw this painting up. Yeah, it surely would be. But I think I'll get it. I think I'll do Lady Liberty proud. Oops, did I give it away? Yeah, well, I think you already knew what you were getting yourself into with this one. Yeah, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I don't know. But if you didn't, now you know. Now you know that we're doing Lady Liberty. And the quickest and easiest way to do a figure like Lady Liberty, right here, is to block in the shapes, just like so, okay? It's really just like painting any other person. There's a basic shape to the way that she goes. Okay, and she's kind of a cylinder shape. Yeah. She's a little bit smack in the middle of the canvas right here, but her arm is going to be an area of great focus, I think. Okay. There it goes. So what we can do, if we have a situation like that where we got a lot of very narrow areas, we can cut across with our palette knife using the very narrow edge, and we can maybe use some shapes that'll get us where we need to go. Okay? And this may be right, this may be wrong. Okay, okay. I want to keep this layer kind of thin. I want to keep it kind of thin. In fact, I might get out my round brush in a little bit to help me along here, because I think a round brush would really, really help with the way that she looks. Okay. Well, you can tell we're already getting kind of a nice little image of her right here, huh? Yeah, that doesn't doesn't look too horrible yet. Keyword yet. There's always time when I'm painting. There's always time. Lady Liberty's giving me a stern look right now, even though she's got no eyes. She's saying to me, you better not blow it. I have not stood here for... God, how long has Lady Liberty been there? She's been here like almost 200 years, right? I don't know if it's been 200 years, but it's been a long time. Long time. It's kind of wild that all that green that you see on her is oxidation from rusting, you know? I found that out a little while ago, and I thought, wow. I mean, that wasn't her original color? Apparently not. Apparently not. I was kind of surprised to learn that. Well, anyway, let's go ahead here and, well, ooh, this is risky right here, huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a little risky, but, you know. Okay. And then maybe there's one over this way. Man, I probably don't need to be painting these yet, but sometimes I get seized by inspiration. I can't help myself. Okay. Well, let's go ahead now with our... Well, let me go ahead and let me just put all this paint back on the palette here, because you never know when we're going to want that dark color again. You never know. And in addition, let's go ahead and... Oh, man. I'm getting paint everywhere. Is that part of the episode where things are starting to get a little hairy? Well, it wouldn't be an episode of this show unless we challenged ourselves a little bit, and unless things got a little hairy. That way you can hear me hoop like an owl later, as I want to do. Whew. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and put a little bit off. That vermilion is still dripping. I think we're going to use that color a little bit just to make it stop and make it behave itself. I think it's just trying to tell me it's anxious to get in. Alright, let's take this brush right here, this round brush, and let's just smooth out some of this paint. And maybe we can get a little clearer with the way that Lady Liberty is supposed to look here. Okay. Now she's got that kind of toga on her, you know? So that goes down there, and then this goes over here, and whew, there's a lot of folds on that. Folds are pretty tricky if you've never done them before. So don't be ashamed if you try this one, and you know, you get thrown off by all the folds and stuff, because those folds, whew, they're tough. Folds are tough. It's okay to admit it right now, because admitting it is half the battle. Alright, so let's go ahead and drop her sleeve down to about there, and then we'll just make a little bit of a doohickey right there for her hand, and then her tablet's going to be right here, and right up here we'll have her arm there. Oh, that's... I don't know. You guys, do you think this is going to be a good one, guys? I don't know, my friend. Only time will tell. Her arm is looking a little big, I will say that, so I might have to make some corrections on that. But right now, I'm feeling okay about this one. I'm feeling okay. Let's also remember that there's going to be a little bit of a... Ooh, right about here, there's going to be a little bit of a stand. So let's go ahead and let's just throw that across right there. And there. That's about where her stand is. Okay. Alright. Right about there, I think. Yeah. We made some big decisions right there, didn't we? Yeah, we did. I tell you what I want to do now. Let's go ahead and clean off the paintbrush. In fact, let's go ahead and keep the bucket of odorless turpentine. I just want to call it turpentine sometimes. It's not just turpentine, it's odorless turpentine. Big difference. We give it a little hummingbird right there. And then we'll wipe it off. Alright. So now let's go ahead and create some highlights on this. Oh, I know. Highlights already. Yeah, if you think you're stressed out, imagine how I feel. Let's go ahead and get some chrome yellow on there. Alright, we got chrome yellow on that. Yeah, we got chrome yellow, alright. And then, I don't know, get a little bit of that. We want more yellow to the green on that one. So we want this one to be real yellow. We want it to be green, but we also want it to be real yellow. And we're also going to get a little bit of that white there. Yeah, this way. Yeah, we're going to get a lot of that white actually. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to save all the really bluish shadows for the big coup de grace on this one. Oh, I'm feeling the pressure on this one. If you don't think I'm feeling the pressure on this one, you are sadly mistaken. This one is nothing but pressure. Statue of Liberty. You know, it's not till you're actually painting it you realize, man, maybe I've bitten off more than I can chew. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. By golly, I'm going to do it. I think I've got a lot of paint mixed up here. I've got a lot of paint. Alright, we're going to want to use a brush on this one. We're not going to use the palette knife because this is going to require... Well, a palette knife is better for architecture and bark and stuff. For a person, it's not really as good. Alright, so I got kind of a lot of paint on there, so I'm going to go ahead with my palette knife right here. Let's just scrape a little bit of that off. Let me just set that down right there. And if you ever get too much paint on your brush and you don't want to, throw it all back into the bucket, the reclaim bucket at the bottom of your bucket of odorless turpentine, you can just scrape all that excess off, put on the palette knife right there. That's how much paint was on that brush. That's a little too much, don't you think? Yeah, I gotta say so. I do declare that is too much paint. Okay. Alright, enough fooling around. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna just run it through the paint right there. I got that. Quite a bit of paint on the brush, actually. Quite a bit. And now we're gonna go... Ooh, boy. We're gonna go right about... Ooh, big decision time. We're gonna go right about here. Alright. And we're gonna... Okay. Now we're gonna go through the paint again. And there's gonna be another little curve right here where her sleeve is. Another highlight right there. Alright. It's going to kind of curve down. Alright. And maybe we'll just bring it right up there a little bit. Okay. Go ahead and reach through that paint again. And maybe over here, there's going to be a little bit of a hint of her face. Okay. There's not going to be a lot of detail on this because it's kind of small. But we are going to see a little bit right there. Alright. And right about here. Right about here. Ooh, okay. Okay. And maybe go up on that one. Ooh. That one was a little messy. That's okay. It's okay. Let's go down in here. Okay. Go down in there. Alright. Now let's go up this way. You know what I might want to do for this? I might want to get my liner brush. This work is getting a little too delicate for that round brush. I bet you were wondering when I was going to get that liner brush out. Well, now you got your answer. I hope you're happy. Okay, let's go in here. I can't believe I just did her face like that. It's all good. It's all good. Start right about here. And right about right there. Okay. And she's got another one that goes right down there. Yeah. This one's going to be a little thicker. Hold on. Let me get more paint on that. Okay. There it is. Now it's starting to take shape. Starting to take shape. Pardon me if I get a little bit of shadow on that, but we got to make this happen. There it goes. There it goes. I want a little bit more of a dark on that one, I think. Oh well. Okay, so this one is going to go down to right about here. Okay? So from right about here, right about there. Good. Okay. Lady Liberty, I'm here for you. Don't ever think that I'm not, Lady Liberty. I will never let you down. Okay. There's her hand. There's the highlight for a lot of these shapes. I'm sure you notice they're really abstract. And that's how it is with painting figures. It really is. You might be surprised to learn just how abstract figure painting like this is. Because when you're painting a subject like, the Statue of Liberty, there's a great deal of actual figure painting stuff involved with it. Even though we're painting a statue. We're doing an artwork of an artwork. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty cool. Okay. Now we got this one. Now we got one that's going to go down from... Let's just put a little something right there. Okay. And then we're going to have a little bit of something going down from here to right about here. There. Okay. No pressure at all. Okay. And just a little bit of, something right there. Very cool. I don't know. Can you start to see her taking shape? Can you start to see her taking shape? I can kind of start to see her taking shape here. And it's honestly pretty exciting. It is really exciting to watch her slowly form like this, using this technique. Using your round brush and your liner brush, you can make this happen. Okay. Just like that. And most of your paint is going to be pretty good for the majority of this. Most of your paint. Okay. Sometimes you accidentally blend the paint a little bit with with the coat underneath, but that's just part of painting this way. Let's go ahead and do a little something up here. Okay. Yeah. There it is. Okay. Now look at that. Now we got another fold right up here. Okay. It's going to go right to here. Ooh, and look at that. Look at that. There it goes. There it goes. And we'll do one more line right about there. And, if you paint outside of your outline a little bit, no harm, no foul. Because sometimes you don't get things exactly perfect when you're painting all these little things here. Okay, we gotta get something up in here. We gotta get that thick highlight right there. Now I know this seems counterintuitive to be painting lights first before darks and all that, but we're actually painting the highlight before we're painting the midtone. And the reason we do that is to really accentuate the values and get a better sense of form before we paint all these other little things in here. And once we got all the lightest lights on here, it's going to make painting all those other values a lot easier. Okay, we got one more little piece of drapery in here that we got to paint. See, there's that. Okay. And we got a little duder right there. Right there. See that? Yeah, that's one piece that we had to paint. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it do be like that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Now let's go ahead and insert another little highlight right there. And if you want to make any corrections as you go along, go right ahead. There's no law saying that you can't. Okay. There it goes. All right, we're doing great right now. And if you've gotten this far, and if you've been able to paint all these little highlights like this, give yourself a pat on the back, because this is so hard. This is one of the more difficult things to do in painting, believe it or not, painting this way. So, again, give yourself a pat on the back if you've gotten this far. We're going to paint over a few things with our, say, mid-tone color, because we're not quite there to the mid-tone color yet. The mid-tone color is going to be a little bit more greenish, but we are doing so well right now. I gotta say, I am so proud of us getting this far. Ooh. After you do this part, you might want to take a little break and get yourself a cool drink and just admire your handiwork. Kind of wish I could do that right now, but you know how it is. I got stuff to do, and I gotta get a move on. So I got so many projects I'm working on. Right after this one gets painted, I gotta paint another one. Okay, let's go ahead and ooh. What do you think? Did we get all the little bits and pieces that we meant to? Oh, let me get that little hand up there. There it goes. There. Ooh. Yeah. There it goes. Tell you what, maybe I'll come in here and give her something like that. Yeah, there she is. All right, let's clean our brush off, because I think we got the point across. I think we can very much tell that this is the Statue of Liberty. And let's give this one a little hummingbird right now. And oh boy, Vermilion is getting a mind of his own again. Bad Vermilion. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that paint. All right. let's take paper towels and wipe off this here knife, because we gotta mix up another color, don't we? Yeah, we do. We gotta get that middle tone color that I've been talking about, that I've been ranting and raving about. Actually, before we do that, let me go ahead and reinsert a dark that I think I kind of messed up here. Go right in there and right there, and maybe we'll put another one right here. Yeah, that's just to give the piece a little bit of encouragement. Maybe we want it to be like right here too. Yeah, like that. And down here. Perfect. That's enough. We don't want to do any more. We don't want to do any more of that. We want to keep this simple. We don't want to do any more, and we don't have to. In fact, let's get that little hummingbird. Just like that. You can barely hear it. Alright. Well, for this middle tone color, let's go ahead and maybe take some of that dark color. Not all of it. Keep a little bit of it. Okay? And we're going to add some white to that. And this color is going to be a lot more green. But it's not going to be too green. It's going to be kind of a middle green type color. And you look at that. Look at that. That is actually really nice. Yeah, let's go ahead and throw a little bit of alizarin on that. Okay. That's almost there. So let's go ahead and take, what do I want to do? I think I'm going to take some chrome yellow. And I'm going to throw it on that. Take some chrome yellow and throw it on that. There it goes. That's a little too much chrome yellow, to be honest. Let's go ahead and take some more of that phthalo green. Take some more of that phthalo green. And some more of that alizarin. Okay. I'll just take some more of that phthalo green and go down to a smaller section of it, where it looks a little bit more bluish here, and then we'll go into the white again. We'll just take the white we've been using, and we'll use that. Okay. And now we should have a color that is pretty decent. Yeah. There it goes. Just take some of that color we were using for the highlights. Don't completely use it all, because we might need to use it again, and mix it in here. I think we kind of got a color that we can use now. Yeah, look at that. That's kind of it, right? It looks kind of like oxidized rust a little bit. Alright, let's see how that looks up in there. Yeah, that's a pretty good color. Okay, let's go ahead and just wipe that on the palette right there, and we'll set the knife off to the side, because who knows when we might want to get back in there with it. And now we'll take the liner brush. We won't fool around with this one. We're just gonna go straight into that green with that brush. And now we're gonna finish what we started here. And now we're gonna start seeing some very interesting greens and things happen. So some of the darks we're going to cover up, not all of them, because we want to keep some of them, right? Yeah, we want to keep some of them. Okay, maybe up in here we want to cover up that. All right, that's pretty good like that. And over here we're going to use that green. Yeah, right in there. Over here, yep, maybe over on this side, yeah, maybe we got a little bit of she's got a little bit of a crown on her head, doesn't she? Yeah, Yeah, she does. So we'll just kind of accentuate those. There. Okay. And we'll go down here. Whew. There I go, hooting like an owl. It was bound to happen sooner or later. Well, it happened later than it did sooner this time. Okay, let's go ahead and get a little bit more odorless turpentine on that so we can get that color flowing. Anytime you need to get a little bit of odorless turpentine to get the color flowing, go right ahead. Because sometimes paintings need a little bit of encouragement. They get real down on themselves too, because they start wondering, oh, I don't know, am I going to work? I ain't for sure. I keep looking at myself in the mirror, and I keep looking at myself upside down, because artists like to look at their paintings upside down, by the way. And paintings, sometimes they get a glimpse of themselves being looked at upside down, and it drives them crazy. That's why artists do it, just to make the paintings a little nuttier. Yeah, keep paintings on their toes sometimes, because paintings will get cocky. Alright, there it goes. There it goes. We'll go in here, and I don't know, maybe this color right here needs a little bit of something right there, and ooh. There. Okay. And you know, we'll go right about here with her. Okay, just right there. Take a little bit of this color right here, and we're gonna do a little bit of a bold and daring cross right here. Alright, just like that. Okay. And she's got all of her little dooders over there, and maybe she's got some stuff right there. Oh, I don't know. Maybe she's got a little bit of a green highlight right there. Or maybe not necessarily a highlight, but that little bit of green in the shadows there. Okay. Just a little bit of green to liven up her day. I might go back in with the highlight in a second here, just to accentuate it a little bit more here and there. Because you know how it is, sometimes the painting needs it. Let's go right here. There. Yeah. Oh, Lady Liberty is looking very smart today. Whew. There I go. Whew. Okay. There it goes. We got a lot of her covered up right now. Let's go ahead and just... There. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. And we'll go in here and give that a little bit of something. Yeah, give it a little bit of something. Real descriptive, I know. Okay. Oh man. Oh man. Let's go down here. Just give it that little bit extra right there. Okay. Yep. Yeah. I want to go back in with some of that highlight here. Maybe give it one extra swipe up there, and then right on the edge of her little crown, I guess you call it. we'll give it some highlights like that. Ooh, ooh, yeah, that's looking smart. And you know, be careful. Watch where the sun is coming from, because the sun's probably not going to hit on the left side of these little, I guess you call them horns, right here. You know, it's a lot easier for me if I angle the brush this way when I do it. That's how I like to do it. Although I guess if you really want to, you can do it this way too. Either way is valid. Either way is valid. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to angle it this way because I feel like the horns are going to be going that way. Okay. And what I might do here is just do a little bit of a blend of these two colors and insert some stuff right here. Here. There it goes. Okay. Just like that. And I'll rinse off the brush. Get some more of that green color. And I'm going to come down. I'm going to highlight the underside of that. And I'm going to get her sleeve right there. We're just going to exaggerate that a little bit. And then we'll get some more of that dark color. Go in here. There. Whew. Okay. There it goes. Ooh, ooh, check out that. Oh, that little mark was really something. Here. Not everything has got to be that green color, you know. Some things look better if they got that really dark blue highlight on it, or not highlight, but dark blue base color. Sometimes the base color works a lot better for what you want to do. And sometimes you really want to accentuate these things with a lot of really, really dark color. Okay, so now we got that. Alright. Looking good, Lady Liberty. Looking good as always. You know what I might do? Just give it a little bit more structure on the horns. There. Here, let's go into this little dark color that we made with the yellow here. And we'll just give it that little bit of a touch on that side of the highlight. There it goes. Alright, I think we've more than asserted ourselves in terms of Lady Liberty. Now, Lady Liberty, well, she needs a little bit of something on top of her. Okay, so let's go in here. So this is going to be real dark right here. Okay, that's going to be real dark. Got that taken care of. Alright, and then we're going to go into our light color. And just right in the middle right there. Maybe there's going to be something going in there. I don't know. Maybe a bunch of people are on their way up to observe. We'll just cover that up a little bit. Okay. And then finally, we'll go into the... I got a little bit too much color on there. Yeah, that happens. Now I'm going to go into that vermilion that I like so much. And we're just, you know, get a bunch of color on there. And right up here, we'll get her little flame. Alright, we got that. Now go over here and get a little bit of chrome yellow to go along. Get a little bit of that chrome yellow. Well, a lot of that chrome yellow. I probably should have just gotten the palette knife on this one. Sometimes when you want really clean color, you got to get the palette knife out. Alright? So let's go ahead with that orange color now. And let's just cover up that whole thing. There. That looks a little bit more interesting. But now that we got that 3-tone or 2-tone color on there, let's go right into the pure yellow. That pure chrome yellow. Okay? And we're really going to accentuate things now. Ooh. Ooh, this is going to just sparkle and shine right here. Look at that. Oh, Lady Liberty. There's her little flame. Lady Liberty. Oh. Goodness gracious, Lady Liberty. Doesn't she look beautiful? Oh, yeah. That there is the hardest part of the painting. Getting all those little elements to look like Lady Liberty. I hope people realize how difficult that is. And if you actually paint this one, I think people will have an idea how difficult it is to paint that, because you'll be painting it there in front of them, getting all those little details with just those 3 colors that I showed you. And you're going to make it look a lot easier than it actually is. I think I got hair on my palette here. Oh, the trials and tribulations of painting when you have long hair. Alright, let's go ahead with our little palette knife now. Ooh, I got another hair here. How does the hair always get into the vermilion like that? I don't know. Well, let's go ahead and get some vermilion. Okay, we got the vermilion. Now take a little bit of chrome yellow. Alright. And let's decide how much chrome yellow we want. We want a lot of chrome yellow for this. But we want to lean a little bit more toward the vermilion. Because even though we're mixing up a nice little orange here, a nice little orange. Ooh, we got ourselves quite a pretty orange there. Ooh, that's nice. I like that. Don't overmix though. We're going to go into that blue, that ultramarine blue, and we're going to mix in a little bit of color. And this is why I said that you want this to have a little bit more vermilion to it, because the vermilion is going to keep it from turning green. If your orange leans a little too far yellow, to that chrome yellow, it's going to turn green. But if you start with an orange that has a little bit more red to it, a red orange, then things are going to be a lot browner. There we go. There we go. Now we want this to be much darker actually. And we're going to kind of go ahead and paint something a little, ooh, I don't know how to describe it. It's going to be a little bit more stony. It's going to be a little bit more stony. We're going to paint our base first. That's what we're going to do. We're going to paint our base first. We're going to get a little bit more vermilion. Alright. And after we add a little bit more vermilion, this is a good case of we always want more paint than we think we need. So a little bit more vermilion on that. And I think we've almost got enough. We've almost got enough, alright. Got enough vermilion to paint the whole town red. Yeah. Well, you know, vermilion is a very popular color in many cultures. There's a lot of cultures that love vermilion. It's a very sacred color. Alright, well, I got too much paint on my knife right now. That's what I got. So, if you cut across like that, I got a thin layer right there. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead going to paint this base color. It's going to be right about here. All right. Right about there. All right. All right. Okay. And let's see here. Let's see here. This color's going to go right about to here. Okay. All right. I got there. Whoop, 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 whoop. What am I doing? What am I doing? That's cool. That's cool. Whew. Sometimes, yeah, the paint goes where it wants to. It's okay. We're going to paint this base here. It's going to have kind of a, ooh, over here it's going to have a little bit of a ledge where it goes out a little bit, and kind of going to go back in, because just like that. Yeah. Just like that. Well, maybe it's going to go out a little bit further. A little bit further. Okay. In fact, what I might do for this is put my palette down so I can draw this just right. Alright. Always helps to etch it in with your knife, by the way. If you ever have any doubts about the way something is going to look, etch it in with a knife. That should be your first order of business every time you're painting a new picture like this. And because we are looking up at the subject, Lady Liberty here, we are going to have a little bit of three-point perspective going on. But you don't want to drive yourself crazy with three-point perspective. Three-point perspective, that'll drive you mad. That's what that'll do. So you're going to, right about here, okay, and that goes down to about there. Actually, there it goes. Okay. Yeah, she's got a strange base here. She's got a strange base, but it's got lots of texture on it, you know. All right, now we're gonna angle things sideways a little bit. There it goes. Okay. Angle things sideways, and well, now let's see what kind of angle are we dealing with now. Well, that angle is going to go about yay length right there. Okay, so we got that going on. Okay. Now let's go ahead now and okay, you got a little bit more base here. Okay, there it goes. And that's good. There. Now she's got her base set in. Whew. We're actually going to use a lot of this color for a lot of the stonework that we're going to see pretty soon. Lord knows there's enough of it. Okay. Okay. We have fun here. We have fun. Alright. So now we're going to take a little bit of red, the lightest touch of red. and some chrome yellow, and mix that into what's going to be. Actually, we can go ahead and take some of the color we were using here, scrape some of that up, and just mix it in there, because that's good enough. We can take some white, throw it on there, so that we can really accentuate the highlight here. And you know what I say, always make things a little brighter than you think they should be. We want kind of this, ooh, you know, honey brick red color. Or not red, but more of a yellowish orange type color. There's going to be a little bit of chrome yellow in there. And yeah, I think we're on the right track here. Don't overmix it. Take a look at that. Take a look at that. Is that bright enough? Ooh, I don't know if that's bright enough. You know what I say? Make it a little brighter than you think it needs to be. Make it a little brighter than you think it needs to be. And we'll add some yellow. Because yellow is the lightest valued color. I don't know if you knew that. Yellow is the lightest valued color. Smear it out, then cut across, and then right about here is where those first highlights are going to be, right there. Okay, and then you can actually go ahead and cut across with the smaller side of your knife, like this. And that'll make some nice little brickwork when you finally get to it. Okay? Because we want what, like 5 bricks, I think? Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Okay. There it goes. All right. Let's kind of just there. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. All right. So right about in here, there's going to be a little bit of a notch right there, where we're going to have some kind of window type situation. Well, maybe window is not the right word for it, but it's going to be right down to about yay high. About yay high. All right. All right. All right. So let's go ahead, the smaller side of our knife, and we'll note these things. We're gonna draw them. We draw with paint, don't we? Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Not every mark is right, but we certainly try. And the palette knife really helps with work like this, you know. Okay, we can go back in and add some details if we want. For now, let's go ahead and, well, let's get some brickwork going. Let's go ahead and get that brickwork going right there, right here. Ooh. Yeah, we're going to get going all the way down to about here. All right. All right. man. It's a little messy, but it's it's a little messy. Okay. Yeah. Come on. There it goes. Oh no. Getting some paint on my fingers here. Whoops. Almost dropped my palette. It just wouldn't be an episode of this if I didn't get paint on my fingers and if I didn't almost drop my palette. Oh, it is classic me. Classic me. Okay. Yeah, get a little bit of that paint off there. That's too much paint. I have to be honest. Uh-oh. Okay, that's just on the palette right there. Just thought I got some paint on the underside of my palette, which would be no fun because I gotta keep that clean while I'm trying to hold this thing. You know, having too much paint on my palette is not a phrase I ever thought I'd hear myself say. But here we are. There's another little thing down here. Kind of goes to the base almost, and then right there. Okay. There it goes. Now we'll do some more brickwork on there. Okay. There it goes. Now on this side we got kind of a 3-tier thing going. Right about here. Then we got another 3-tier thing going down here. Well, this is the second part of that 3-tier thing. Alright. Then we got it going on. Well, let's be sure we extend that far enough. Okay. Okay. And let's insert this, which we can draw a little later, because there's going to be some details on there. And for this last little bit, we can just throw that down. Okay. Not bad. Alright. So tell you what I'll do. Let's scrape the rest of that on the palette and clean off our knife, because we're going to need this knife. We're going to need it for the real dirty stuff in a second. Alright. We want a middle tone color now. After we establish the base, we can really get going then. Okay, what kind of color do we want for the base here, do we think? Well, what we could do is just add a little bit of white to this color over here. Maybe a little bit of yellow. Maybe a little bit of that orange, yeah. Not bad. Okay. We'll just leave that color right there. And tell you what we'll do. We will cut across. And right here, I will take my knife and I'll make these little details just so. Okay. And I'll do the same thing right here at the top of that base. Because, you know, we got some things going on, but we don't want to fool around with everything. Okay, we can go back in with our dark color later and make any corrections that we need to. Now let's see here. Where do we want to? Since, yeah, that's about where we want to go. Okay. Okay. Yep. Got ourselves a little bit of a situation right there. Okay. Goes. Whew. There I go, hooting like an owl. Whew. Oh no. Well, there I went and dropped something. That's the entertainment part of the episode right there. Me dropping something. Doesn't that just beat all? Nothing like dropping the paper towels onto the palette. Got a whole bunch of paint on everything now. Ah well. Oh well. That's what I get for being such a fool. Son of a gun. Alright. Alright. Let's go in with our liner brush now. Because we got to make some corrections on all of this. So let's go into our dark paint. Our dark paint is right up here. That dark brown color right there. Okay? So let's go in here. And so we got kind of some stuff right here, right there. And we just want to give some of these little bits a little bit of encouragement like that. Okay. Just like that. Doesn't have to be anything too fancy here. We're just going to really make it pop a little bit. Maybe show the separation between colors right there and there. Yeah. Make our base pop. Just like that. Yeah. And right about here. Yeah. Now because it is made of brick, it's okay to give it kind of an uneven texture. I mean, maybe it's got some things going on in there, and Maybe they're ill-defined. Maybe it's got a few more things going on. Just like that. Over in here. Over in here we got all these little nooks and crannies in this area. Yeah. Just like that. Yeah. Okay. There. And over in here, you know, we got a little something we want to make a detail on. Maybe we got a couple of strokes here of brickwork and whatnot. It's okay not to show every little bit of brickwork because, you know, you go crazy doing that stuff and, well, artists are expected to be crazy, but you gotta be a little bit tolerable too. Every so often you gotta interact with people. Okay. Okay. There it goes. There's that one. Okay. And over here, you know, you got little circles and stuff. Little details that maybe you don't need to define super well, but they're there. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, that's good enough. This is good enough. Okay. And we'll create a little bit of separation right there, and then we'll... There. Very good. Very good. And down here, just a few more things right here. Maybe there's a little entrance there for people to go in and see the museum and stuff. You gotta have a sense of scale about this thing. The Statue of Liberty is quite large. Very large, in fact. Sometimes people forget how enormous it really is. Whew. Okay. That's good. Now, yeah, what do you say we kind of just, well, I want to clean off a little bit more of this paint. Give it a little bit of hummingbird and wipe it off. Okay. It's getting a little, starting to splay out a little bit there. Hold on, let's... see what kind of mistake we got going on there. Let's see if we can maybe brush this out a little bit. There. Okay. Yeah, that's how we make a little bit of correction. we just brush it out a little bit. I just got my fan brush on there and I gave it a little bit of a brush off. All right, now we can go in here and make sure you got the angles right on that. It's tough to get the angles right. Okay. There we go. And we can go ahead and just throw some of that right there. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. Now that we got our liner brush cleaned off, and we got a lot of work left to do, don't we? Whew. Oh boy, we got so much work left to do. Well, luckily, we've still got a lot of that color that we made. So we're going to go over this way. And right about there, wait, here actually. Yeah, right about there is good. Yeah, right about there is good. We're going to just throw this paint in here. There it goes. This paint's going to kind of be covered up a little bit by one thing that we're doing. Okay. Okay. And we got some more that's going to go over this way. Okay. Now right here, right about right there is where that's going to go. All right. Okay. So let's draw something right here. Right? Yeah, right about there. And this can go over here. And this, right, yay big. Yeah, this can go over this way. There. There. Okay. I'm just gonna, part of me says maybe I shouldn't cover this up, but as long as we have those guidelines there, I think we're going to be okay. Because we kind of have to get this color all over this piece at this point. Well, not all over this piece, but all over this area. I've drawn the guidelines with a knife, and drawing the guidelines with a knife helps you decide very quickly and very easily, as long as you're right about there. Yeah, right about there. See, I've already got a pretty good idea where all the base and stuff is going to be. There's this little mistake right there that I want to try to correct before we head out today. But I am in a great place. I'm in one of the best places I could possibly be for such a deceptively complex piece. You look at this and think, oh, that looks pretty easy. Then you actually do it and go, oh my goodness. Well, let's take our highlight color and let's, well, you know what I might do for this? I might throw a little bit more white in there. Just a smidge more white, okay? And just to lighten it up a little bit. Just to lighten it up. Give it a little bit more difference from what we were seeing on the earlier parts. Okay? So we got that. Cut across. Well, I got lots of paint. I always get so much paint on the palette knife like that. Ooh, got a little bit of hair. Try to get that off. Yeah, don't want too much hair on your palette. And you cut across at an angle. You got that roll of paint on your knife. So right here, let's go ahead. And I don't know if it can really be seen super well, but we've got a little bit of a lighter tone on that highlight down there, which is really what I wanted. Okay. Good. Now, here's where this next one is going to go. Where's that one? Right there. Very good, very good. And right here. Okay. And we got a little bit of a line right there, as well as some more highlight down below that's going to extend over there toward the wall. Yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, that's good. Now, what do I want to do here? I'm going to take that same color, I think. I'm going to take that same color. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to highlight the edges of this. And then we'll pick the spot where there's going to be this little bit of an intersect. Okay? And then there. There's the brickwork. Okay. All right. Good. Now for that other color over there, I know what I'm going to do. You know what we need for that? I know what I want to do. Let's wipe off a little bit of paint with this palette knife here. Okay. And let's take one of that blue color. And create a gray in here. I think it's going to look particularly nice. Yeah, see how that looks? Yeah, it looks pretty smart. We'll mix some more of the highlight in there just to get it a little browner, because we don't want to completely annihilate this color. There. That's better. I like this color better. This is gonna look real nice with that dark brown that we have. Real nice. Okay. Alright, so here's what we do. Well, first I can try to get the paint off my knife there as much as I can. Then we cut across, and well, that was actually a lot more paint than I bargained for. But we're gonna run with it. We're gonna run with it. Okay? Here's where it's going. Okay. Alright. Try to let that paint break. We're not exactly creating stones here, but we are painting stones, and when we paint stones, they kind of get painted the same way, you know? Here. There's going to be a little bit of a notch in there, where there's going to be an opening for all the people to head inside and go to the store and stuff, and I forget exactly what's in at the Statue of Liberty. Here, what we can do actually is take the big palette knife, because I've been using the small one this whole time, and we'll go ahead and just take the big palette knife and create a bunch of this modeled brickwork like this. Okay. that's what we do. Try to make them a little bit larger as they come out this way, the bricks. Because bricks are going to be a little smaller once they come over this way, right? Yeah, they are. They totally are. That's just a little bit of an illusion of depth and all that. Okay. Okay. There we go. Now what I want to do, is I want to go in here, this color, and I'm not going to do too much. I'm just going to liven up a few things. There. Here. There it goes. That color is doing its thing. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Here we go. And then over this way. And okay. Oh boy. I'm looking at all the paint on my fingers and things are getting pretty wild. There. Okay. So now we got a little bit of that color in there. It's making things look pretty interesting, right? Yeah, right. Now what can we do here, you wonder? Oh, I don't know. We could probably make some accents now with our liner brush. There's a lot of liner brush and a lot of knife action on this one. We did get to use the big brushes a little bit. But, you know, there's a lot of delicate work on these things. And, ooh, we got lots of paint on the palette knife right here, don't we? Whew. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of paint. Yeah, take a moment to clean that off, because that is too much. I better watch the paint on the edge of the roll here. I got paint on the edge of my paper towels. That's ridiculous. Oh my God. I should be ashamed. I should be a little bit ashamed. Nah. I'm alright. We better wash off a couple of these brushes here. Do I got any paint on? I think I cleaned off my liner brush. I still got some paint on my... Here, let's go ahead and set that right there, because who knows, we might want to use it soon. Okay. I'm just cleaning off my fan brush here, because we got in on the action, and he was making a few corrections there. Give him a little hummingbird, and wipe him off over here on the side, and then, ooh, I don't know. Well, actually, I do know. Look at that. That round brush is still all kinds of dirty. All kinds of dirty. Gotta get that paint off, because he's got a job to do, lazy bones. He did one thing, and then he decided to take a load off. Lady Liberty here, she's waiting for me to get done so she can take a rest. She gets tired up there on that pedestal. Give me a pour, you're tired, you're hungry. Yeah, well, she's getting pretty tired and hungry herself. Okay. It's about time to break for lunch, you know? Lady Liberty, she's got to eat. So do we. So do the rest of us. Alright, let's take the liner brush here, a little bit of medium, and I'll go into my dark paint here, because got some things we gotta do here. All right. Got some big old stones in there. Pretty sure that's not how it really looks, but I just felt like painting some big old stones. Because I like painting big old stones. This is what we call creative license. It's one of those things that you get the day you go down to the store and buy your paints and your canvas and all that business. You get it at any store that sells them. And they don't actually give you a card. But it's understood that you have it. Okay. Now let's go right about, right about here. Okay. Now let's go into that brown paint that we were using for all of our base stuff. And we'll go right here. And right about here is where that's going to be. All right. Okay. We got that. And over here, we'll just make a little bit of a note right there. Some color notes. That's what we make. We'll call them. Yeah, that's what we'll call them now. We're calling them color notes. Notes in the key of color. Yep. Alright. So right about right here. Alright, there's that one. Yeah, maybe we introduce some stuff there, and that's good enough. And maybe right there we got a little bit of something we want to notate. There. Okay. Here, let's go in this paint right here. This middle tone color. Just set that down. Make that look real nice. And what we can do is scrape out some of the paint that we accidentally put in there. Some of the paint that we accidentally put in there. We can also cover up with a little bit of white if we want to. We'll do that at the end though. And we're almost at the end. We're almost there. Okay. Yeah, there's this little thing right here where the people are coming in and they want to see Lady Liberty. There's this little entrance right here. Okay. Alright, so yeah, she's got her entrance right here. Okay. Let's go into the dark paint. And right about there is where it is. There it goes. Okay. we'll take a little bit of orange and spice that up. Yeah. Oh boy. There it goes. Yeah, it's a nice little spot for it. Actually, let's go ahead and maybe we'll make it a little bigger. There we go. Take some of that artistic license there and make that look a little neater. That's better. That's good. Here, let's take some of that color. There it goes. And there. Now we got a better sense of that little entrance up at the top of that. Whatever it is. I think it might be a staircase, but it's so small that it's really hard to really get a sense of it. There. Man, a lot of little projections on this painting, isn't there? Oh, I know. This can be a very stressful painting because of that. Okay. 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 Putting some finishing touches as always. Some finishing touches here. Kind of went a little too cavalier with the way that we put that in. Okay. And maybe, oh, I don't know. Maybe we'll just play with that a little bit more and eliminate some space and all that. There. That's good. That's good. Now let's talk about some of these little areas right over here. Tell you what we can do. Let's take that white and then a little bit of the yellow and the crimson again. And we'll take make sure there's a lot of white on there, and then just there it goes. It's not done quite yet. Not quite yet. We're almost done. Okay. Take a little bit more white, a little bit more crimson, a little bit of that chrome yellow. Don't be afraid of it. Okay. Any place where you think, oh, I don't know, you might have screwed up a little bit, go ahead and get it. Alright, and we'll just take a 1-inch brush and maybe we'll go in here and there. And what that? One more for the road. Give the swirl. Okay. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Now let's clean off our brushes. Do the responsible thing. Clean off our brushes. How many dirty ones we got today? We got a dirty one there. I think this one's clean. Yeah, that one's clean. Well, our knives might be a little dirty. I don't think our liner brush is dirty. I think we clean that off. Alright, let's just clean off these two. Okay. Our round brush. Okay. Alright. Okay. And then we'll clean off the 1-inch brush. And we'll give the old wipe off. Okay, and finally let's make sure that our palette knives are all cleaned off. Make sure there's no more paint on them and all that stuff. Well, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of paint on my fingers today. Hold on, let me put down the palette while I do this. Because that would be the responsible thing to do. Of course. There. That's good, that's good. Okay. Ooh, lots of paint on the big palette knife today. Well, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would. Okay. Well, now that we got Lady Liberty all painted up here, she's ready for a night on the town. She's ready for lunch. She's got a lunch date with, I don't know, the Lincoln Memorial or something. She's got a long way to go. She's got to hit the road. She got to go all the way to D.C., doesn't she? A little bit. A little bit. Alright, let's go ahead and give this one the finishing touch. And you know what that means? That means we're going to take a little bit of our medium, go into the vermilion, and give this a little signature right here. Yes? Okay. And that means the painting's done. Let's wash out the brush. Okay. And we'll go ahead and just give the old wipe down after we gave it that hummingbird. It's very light. Can you hear it? Yeah. You can hear it. I know you can. Alright. Well, this is a fun one, another challenging one, and I really hope you enjoyed this. I always tell you, be sure that you push yourself, because the more you push yourself, the better you're going to get. This is a very tricky painting, a very difficult one to execute, even though you look at it and you think it looks very simple. But the trick is there's a lot of palette knife work, and then there's a lot of figure drawing type work here, where there's a lot of folds and a lot of placing just the right value in just the right place. And that makes all the difference, as you can see. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this, and I enjoy having you here again. I hope you stop by soon, because I look forward to seeing you again. I don't think I'll ever get enough of you being here. And I hope you never get enough of me. Well, it brings me a little bit of sorrow to say that it's time for us to part again, but I'll be back soon. And until then, with love from me to you, bye-bye.